What are you waiting for? The chopper? Here's your high-flying gaming podcast, M&C Mornings.
Thank you, everybody, for waiting. This is M&C Mornings, the late edition, the Mother's Day edition.
It's still morning somewhere.
It is some morning somewhere, so enjoy a cup of coffee wherever you, especially West Coasters. This was meant for you. No, everybody, thanks so much. Jay is on a little bit of what we call the Cuban rum time. And, like I say, it's Mother's Day. I'm sure a lot of people were just getting done having breakfast with their moms, wives, etc. Crap, let me tell you something. For all the rigmarole we went through this morning, I'm pretty goddamn excited. This is going to be a crazy good show.
Yeah, you know what? I was very excited, and a lot of people were like, just go with the show. We went unplugged last week, and I thought that show went fine. But without the programming and software that wasn't running at first, which is why Jay had to uninstall it and reinstall it and all this kind of stuff, without that, we couldn't do our top 10 list. We couldn't do some of the bits that we have. We couldn't do the intro, the outro. We couldn't do the Wheel of Wonder.
Oh, so what you're saying is you couldn't do M&C Mornings?
Yes, it's basically would have just been an average podcast. You know what I mean? And I don't really like doing average stuff. If you're going to do something, you might as well do it.
Absolutely.
And we have a lot of stuff to give away today. So those that don't know, since we didn't give away anything last week, we're doing 2 spins on the Wheel of Wonder. And so one of those things will be a Gears of War 4 download as well, and then a 3-month code. And we're also giving away the Patreon thing, which is a brand new game or a year of Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus if you prefer. I don't see why you'd listen to us and prefer PlayStation Plus, but who are we to judge?
That's right.
So,
That's correct. Jay, can you fill in everybody with what is Cuba like and what do you do there?
Well, okay. I can only tell you what I do there. So when I'm in Cuba, I spend a lot of time. I have a bubba keg. You guys know what a bubba keg is, right? It's these. It looks like a keg of beer with a handle. Okay, and basically you take it up to the to any of the bars, which there are multiple. You say fill it with whatever you've got. Usually, almost everything there includes rum. So I was drinking a lot of rum punch, a lot of Sex on the Beach. A lot of mojitos. I was drinking.
Chicks really dig those drinks.
Believe me, I don't give a crap. When I'm down there, and I drink a lot of beer too, right? But and the beer down there is good. They have El Bucanero, and they've got I can't remember all the brands. But I'm not much of a rum drinker. But when I'm down there, everything has rum in it, so you just kind of become accustomed to it. And believe me, you just fill up your bubba keg, you go sit at the pool bar, you drink, you meet people. If you're getting too warm, you go under one of the huts and you relax. I was reading a book. I was reading one of my my wife gave me her old Kindle, so I ended up loading it up with a couple of old books that I haven't gotten to, and I read those. And there's just so much to do. You can go on excursions. My kids took a trip to the local town and did some shopping in an old-fashioned car in Cuba. All the cars are like from the 50s and the 60s. And it's just an experience.
Stuff, right? Like,
see, I gotta give
Studebaker.
I gotta give Jay credit because half the things that Jay did, I tip my cap to him because those are fantastic things. First of all, not a fan of reading, which is probably why a lot of BioWare games go by the wayside for me. Okay. Number 2. Here's my other issue. Rum, I like rum, but in moderation. Rum, Jay, you have to admit, by the end of that week, you had to have literally been burping up sugar cubes. I mean...
And that's the funny thing. Like, I thought I was going to get really sick of it, but as soon as I was about to leave and we were waiting for the bus to take us back to the airport, I was running into the gift shop buying 40 ounces of rum for $6. Why wouldn't I? Well,
the thing is, too, now tell me if Cuba has the same thing, because I've been to a couple of the tropical locations as well. You can get a liter of rum down there for like $6. Yeah, but then if you want a 12-pack of Heineken, it's like your firstborn. You know what I mean? Like it's like $25 for a 12-pack, isn't it?
Yeah, well, like in the shops on the resort, you couldn't buy beer by itself. It was always hard liquor and cigars and T-shirts and all that baloney. But I mean, a pack of cigars down there were like $11 for 10 Cuban cigars.
Yeah.
And the exchange rate is very comparable to American because like with the Canadian dollar compared to the Cuban dollar,
Right.
I think I was paying $100 Canadian. I was getting back like 86 Cuban pesos or something like that. So that's
Okay.
very, very comparable.
Well, here's the thing, though, Jay. What's the difference between a Cuban cigar and a Swisher Sweet? Because most of us cigar smokers have absolutely no idea. I think it's more of one of those things that, and tell me if I'm joking with the Swisher Sweet. Of course, that you get like 8 of those for about 50 cents. But I mean, you can get some good
There's no
cigars.
comparing. You can't compare that.
But I mean, what if I went and bought like a, what do they call it, a Romeo and Juliet or what, an R&J?
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, right. They have those. You know, those can venture up to being 25, 30, 40 bucks a piece. What's the
That's
difference
right.
between one of those and a Cuban? Just the fact that we can't have it here in the States, you know?
Those are Cubans. Those are actually Cubans. You can buy Romeo and Juliet right down there. They actually make them.
Why can I buy a Romeo and Juliet? Why can I buy that here in New York?
Maybe they have a distributor there, or maybe they have some kind of a factory in the States to simulate it. But in Cuba, I believe that they have factories that are, you know, that's one of their main exports is cigars. So you know, it's only the United States, you have to understand, that had the biggest issue with Cuba for years, all because of what happened back in the 60s, the Cuban Missile Crisis or whatever.
Yeah, you know, do you like how Jay said that? You know, that little nothing, the missile crisis?
Yeah, the missile crisis,
Right?
and then
That's nothing.
JFK makes sure he gets a bunch of Cuban cigars before he puts the fucking kibosh on trading with Cuba. He's like, let me grab a bunch of these, you know what I mean? Like,
Jay just eliminated 1955 to 1969 with no issues. It was peace, love, and harmony.
yeah.
Then we break a Beatles album out.
Yeah.
Listen,
Well, you know, I mean, yeah, Americans are. It's starting to trickle in where Americans can now travel to Cuba, I believe.
Yeah.
yes.
But believe me, like me and my wife have been down south probably 10 times. This is our second time to Cuba, and I didn't have the greatest experience the first time. The first time we were there was probably about 12 years ago. And you know, the toilet broke a few times. And I always compared Cuba, like anywhere, a 5-star resort in Cuba was always a 3-star resort everywhere else. That's kind of how I looked at it.
Yeah.
But my problem was that I hadn't been everywhere. You know, you have to explore and try different ones. This resort we were at was phenomenal. We already said that we would go back in a heartbeat, and it wasn't as much the resort that made it. It was the staff. The staff go above and beyond for everybody. They make everybody feel special.
Well, think about it, though, Jay. You had said, I don't mean to interrupt you, but you said something, you know, earlier. You said as you were traveling to the resort, though, you saw how parts of Cuba, and I saw parts of St. Lucia at one point that were very, very, you know, decimated, and
Sure.
you see they worked very hard just to live.
They do.
And then when you get to these resorts, I talked to a few people that were at those resorts too, and they said that the reason you got treated so well, and I mean, don't get me wrong, this is just good business, is they realized that first, they're very lucky to have that job. Number two, you are not the bread and butter. You're the only bread and butter. So,
and that is true. I mean, these people make $28 a month. That's how much
Right.
they make.
right,
And,
Jeez.
and they're living off of their tips.
right.
And but besides that, you know, and I've been to a lot of resorts down south. I was in Jamaica twice, and I was in Dominican Republic, and I've been all over. I've never experienced this service that I did at this resort ever in my entire life.
That's
It
very
was-
cool.
it was
Well, let me tell you
beyond.
something. As much as you didn't want to leave, the Xbox community and the gaming community as a whole is very glad you've returned.
Like people, I don't know if people thought we were going to be running like the stuff that you do, but I made it clear, like, no, it's just
Yeah.
acoustic. We can't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, you go see
Kazoos
U2,
only.
right? You go see U2 in Madison Square Garden. There's fireworks. There's probably a plane that lands and drops Bono off. And then every once in a while, there's an MTV Unplugged where it's just Bono sitting on a couch playing with a cigarette in his hand. That was last week for me and Crap. It was me and Crap with a glass of scotch in the morning, sitting on a couch, unshaved, just sitting there chilling, waiting for something to happen. So we're really glad that you came back, bro. You kind of make MC Mornings what it is.
I was happy to come back. You know, I was very tired when I came back. I came home very early in the morning, and I slept and had to get up early. But you know, as much as we enjoyed being down there, it's, you know, there's no place like home, really.
Yeah,
Well.
we're happy as hell to have you back, man. Definitely. And then we swamped you with stuff as usual. We're like, hey,
Yeah.
can we get that Crossfire
Yeah,
thumb?
can we get
Hey,
a Crossfire logo? Can I get I need a gamer tag logo. I could use a number 4 supersize, Jay. Whenever you can get to any of those. We kind of smothered you the minute you get off the plane.
Yeah. Well, somebody's like, "What's the topic?" The topic is J-Dub's getting off his vacation.
What's the topic? It's a morning show, people. Grab a cup of coffee, take off your slippers, hang around for a minute.
That's right.
You know, no, but you know what? We can get into a little gaming instead of Jay. This is your life. But what we'll do is, you know, crap. One of the things you did a video on, a few others have done a video on. I think you guys really all nailed it. Is right now Sony's pushing a huge. They're taking a gamble, and right now I think it's going to work for the current day, but I don't know if it'll transpire so well come the fall. Sony's taking an attempt to go out and say, look, we have dynamic 4K resolution with the PS4 Pro. My question is, do you think that's a good way to market? Number two, how is Microsoft going to, how are they going to combat this, right? Are they going to just use the words native 4K? Because native
probably true or real 4K. The real reason is, and I think you brought this up on Crossfire. Like when I saw this commercial, I literally had a good chuckle because it's like dynamic 4K. Because when most people hear the word dynamic, you think because that's the way something looks. Yeah, it's like grand, like dynamic, amazing 4K, right? They don't realize that it's fake 4K.
That's right.
So they are using this to kind of confuse people, to trick people. That's all it is. A lot of the stuff, and a lot of people wonder why. Sort of I take an issue not with PlayStation in general but more Sony is because they do little things like this. They do these little kind of underhanded things and then they wonder why we don't believe that they've shipped as many consoles as they claim, right? It's like you look at that Call of Duty World War II thing and it looks like it's a PlayStation exclusive. You look at the Destiny stuff, it looks like a PlayStation exclusive. They do this on purpose to fool the casual market. And so people are busy saying, well, nobody has a 4K TV, which I call bullshit on that. If you look at what's in on like even Walmart, right? Like 4K is the thing, and you can pick one up for like $300. It might not be the best one, but it's going to be better than the, than an average 1080p. Right. It's not going to have HDR, but you can still get a 4K TV for $300. Like I shit you not. People are buying those, so obviously they're going to look for entertainment. And then if you look at the asterisk under it, it's like, does not have a 4K Blu-ray player. 4K resolutions differ depending on each game, blah, blah. It's like all this this bunch of junk that they throw in there that you can barely see. And
wait, so it's just Sony's up to its usual smoke and mirrors.
Yeah. It's smoke and mirrors. And I thought it was funny because, and I equated it to this when I did a video about it, which was, what if Microsoft had said, enjoy dynamic 1080p gaming on Xbox One, right? What if they had done that? They would have been laughed out of the, they would have been totally humiliated. Sites would have been running how they were lying and misleading. I have yet to see anybody say that Sony has been misleading with this or lying or anything like that.
Listen, Sony doesn't have a claim to the word dynamic. So do you think Microsoft would be as bold as to say true or native 4K, not dynamic 4K? But my point being with saying not dynamic is Microsoft kind of has to let people know. Listen, if you go to get a steak, okay, you're sitting down, you're eating, and someone says, I'll have the steak, and the person next to you says, I'll have the dynamic steak. Don't you want that one? I want that one. Okay, I'm going to point right over to this guy's table. My finger's probably in his face. I'm like, I want that guy's steak. But so what you have to do is we have to kind of because in the tech world, and don't ask me why, but dynamic in any other sense of the word is grand, greater, larger, probably better. I don't have the dictionary in front of me, but everyone knows how to put that before the word and make it sound better. And now, for some reason, dynamic in our world is actually fake, which is, but does the casual market know that? So what I'm saying is, you got to understand something. Scorpio's on your left, PS4 Pro's on your right. One says true native 4K, and the other one says dynamic 4K. You got Joe Blow, I turn hot dogs for a living, walks up and reads that. I think he's picking up dynamic. Just because the word is more superior than native. Native, you know what native sounds to the usual? There's the casual walks in, doesn't know anything about these podcasts or what we're talking about. It sounds prehistoric. Native, like it used to be, like it used to be back in the day. So what I'm saying is I think Microsoft has to come out and say something that counters dynamic with either not dynamic, better than dynamic. You know what I mean? I don't know. Do you guys see what I'm saying? I just think that if Sony runs with that word, it slightly can confuse the public, and Sony wants that. Yeah.
The idea, as many people as possible. They're like, oh, dynamic 4K. Like, they don't know. You know, like Microsoft has their work cut out for them, obviously. Right. You know, they have a lot of the media against them right now as well. So that's something that they have to keep in mind. I think this E3 is going to be critical. No matter what they do, I expect no site to really give them the win. You know what I mean? But they are going to say
anything you can do, I can do better.
Yeah,
that would be better if Microsoft
they should play that song
behind it when they play their games on their commercials.
What they need to do is go back to the old Sega versus Super Nintendo days and like show the two side by side somehow, and then just have that song. You know what I mean? Like that would be the best way to do it. You know, you can play all your favorite games better on this. You know, that's what they have to do. And I think that in a way, that's what they're going to do. Now, what they did is kind of surprise everybody and say, we're not going to show Halo 5 or Halo 6. There's not going to be a Halo 6 announcement at E3 or Gamescom, which made people think. I kind of asked around. Supposedly, there's a new game that they're going to show. And the reason being that they're not going to do this, because originally, and Rand had mentioned this as well, like, and I had heard it too, Halo 6 was slotted to be the ending of the show on Scorpio. Then, I guess due to a lot of people saying, well, they're just going to rely on Halo, it's this and that, then they decided to put something else up in that spot.
Right. So, well, I mean, I saw your video, crap. You're rolling with, they're not going to do that, so we're going to see something possibly is either a new IP or
I think it's a new IP.
Okay.
Or it could be a reboot, because I had heard that possibly Rare was working on something other than Sea of Thieves. A smaller team was working on it, or but I don't know if that would be the ending to the show or not. It's very hard to get info out right now.
I kind of hope Phil changes his mind, though, crap. I know he doesn't like to show games that are coming out 3-4 years away, but realistically, Sony did that last year. Okay, we're finding out that they showed like 6 or 7 games. Some of them are going to be coming out. That was what, June 16. These are going to be coming out. Most of those you saw are going to probably be coming out fall 18. So, I mean, and some probably spring 19.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think, I mean, we all know Halo 6 is coming. Do you think that, like, Phil doesn't want to show it this E3 because then it would be too far away from releasing and he doesn't want to do that? Or do you think that he just is really just trying to take it in a different direction and do an E3 that's not relying on Halo or Gears?
I think it's a different direction. I really do. I really, really do. Because I don't know, right, crap? I mean, think about all the things we've been talking about over the years. Saying Halo 6 is coming out is like saying, Monday will be right around the corner. It's coming to, I mean, we know.
Water's wet,
Water's wet. I mean, like, so I think Phil's trying to take it in a different direction. And I love this conversation. I have a feeling this is going to be our conversation per the podcast today, the show. But we do have 13 voicemails, crap. I think we should probably hit one up.
Yeah, definitely. Who we got on deck there, Jay?
We've got Xbox One 4K.
Xbox One 4K. Awesome.
Nice.
Hey, this is Xbox One 4K from Twitter. Just basically wondering when are you guys going to do your feedback, like, or what do you expect from E3 this year, or predictions, I would say. So yeah, we're just looking forward for that. And you guys, thank you for your show. Have a nice day. Bye.
Yeah, he brings up a good point, crap. That was something that we did a lot more back in the day, and I just think with a lot of people covering E3, maybe we can do something like that.
I plan on still doing some prediction shows and stuff like that, but I just wanted to get a little bit closer because there's obviously going to be some leaks as well, but I also want to do some of the E3 just predictions. They're always fun to do because there is always times where you can predict stuff and then go back and see how close you were. Usually, most of us are pretty on point with what we say. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to predict anything that weird. Like, it's hard to go, oh, well, it's going to be 2 new IP, like, and you don't know what they are, but, it's easy enough to say, well, there'll be a couple of new IP or Fable
Well,
come back.
I think you made a hell of a point, Crap. I remember one year, and I think it was 15. We started doing E3 predictions, like, it was like April.
Yeah.
And, it's like, you know what I mean? That's like bringing your kid to sit on Santa's lap after, an Easter. It's a little too early to kind of start predicting what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that are changing. Listen, we were talking about how Halo 6 may be shown, and then it's not. There's no sense in getting predictions out there that just are foolish way before. What is the actual date? Is it June 11th?
I think it's June. I believe so.
Is it? It's in that hemisphere, folks. So with it being around that time, I think last week in May, first week in June is still credible to do predictions. I know everyone's jonesing to hear maybe some of the white papers that have leaked and things that are coming out, and kind of put 2 and 2 together and make a prediction. That's always fun.
June 11th. You're right.
Yeah,
Sunday, June 11th, right? 5 p.m. Eastern is when Microsoft does their show, and then Sony is still doing theirs on the Monday. So they weren't really worried about Microsoft's E3 too much. A lot of people were like, "Oh, I hope they don't jump in behind them or jump up earlier in the day."
I don't think Sony had a choice there. I don't think it was, whether they're worried or not, the jury's still out. Yeah. I think it's more along the fact of the only thing they could have done was jump from Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern to, they could have done maybe the 12 o'clock slot that Microsoft used to have on Monday.
Yeah, that's what I think people were worried about. Maybe they jump up there, but I think that Sony does theirs in the evening in order to better equate with the time in Japan, I think. I think that has something to do with it, like it's and some of the other places. So like I think I'm not sure exactly how the time zone breaks down there, but I believe it's so that they can kind of watch it or whatever as well. So being early wouldn't really help, but it is going to be fun to kind of be able to cover everything that they're doing and things like that. So who do we got on deck, J-Dubs? Let's go ahead, because I know we have a lot of voicemails.
Yeah, we've got Xbox Trigger.
All right, triggered.
Hey, Crap, hey, Jay, it's Xbox Trigger from Twitter. And my question today is, what do you guys think about the Scorpio hype? I love it. Everybody's fans love it, but the media hates it, and so does the ponies and PC elitists. And they're doing any way they can to destroy the hype as possible, saying, well, that every game's going to be 4K, or, it's going to be expensive, or, you see these biased journalists making articles saying, the Scorpio only 13% of people know what Scorpio is. So, what do you think about this, though? Is it really annoying? And what we have, like, only a few more weeks until E3? June 11th, So, when that happens, I hope that all the naysayers will shut up. Anyway, I just want to hear your guys' opinion. Thanks. Bye.
Good question. Somebody get that guy some pet pills first, and then we'll. Sorry, Xbox Trigger, but yeah, here's the thing. With Scorpio, it changes the balance of things, and there's certain groups of people that don't like that. Obviously, the PlayStation 4 fans who have hyped up power and resolution all generation don't like the idea that they're irrelevant in those terms now. Like by Sony's own terms of what greatness is, which is power and resolution, they're irrelevant because they're not the most powerful anymore, no matter how people try to spin it to be about something else. Same thing with some of the PC crowd, right? Because a lot of them hype up power and resolution. But then when you look at how many are actually gaming in native 4K, it's less than 1%. And that's according to Steam, which is like the largest purveyor of PC gaming. So a lot of those people talk out their asses, or they spend a lot of money and do that. Like, Scorpio is likely going to give us more native games. More people will be gaming natively on console with Scorpio than PC. And that, I think, worries people. And, I don't see why it does, because it's just gaming is gaming, honestly. Yeah. And I think that it's a stupid way to think about it. But I guess the insecurity levels and things like that. Look, I was always one to say, hey, Xbox One, and you can go back years and hear me say this, didn't need secret sauce. I was happy with it how it was, just because I prefer it. I prefer the controllers, the interface. I feel like the online service, all that stuff is just so much better. And with PlayStation, I just don't feel that it's up to snuff. I don't have a problem with PlayStation. I can play some games on there, but it's always like I might as well be disconnected and and being like a room by myself. You know what I mean? Like you just don't feel that.
Maybe I missed part of what Trigger was saying at the end. I couldn't hear him on a few things, but was he also talking about maybe also the whole will the consumer know, or will they understand what Scorpio is? I think he was asking that was part of that whole Nielsen's rating thing that came out too, right? Crap. Yeah. And they were saying, will people understand and realize what the Scorpio is? Are they excited for Scorpio or Pro? And the numbers were really dismal. They're like 13, 12%, whatever.
Yeah.
First of all, you could take that poll and you could throw that shit right in the garbage. That's absolutely worthless. Once Scorpio hits the shelf and the way Microsoft determines how they're going to market it, you can see what Sony's starting to do with their dynamic 4K commercials.
Yeah.
When you walk in, again, I'm not going to say the same analogy, but it is. If you have a steak and a dynamic steak, you want it. If Microsoft says, I'm ultimate 4K experience, the ultimate steak, you'll take that one. You have to advertise it so when the casual comes in, they know the differential between the Xbox One S and the Scorpio, whatever the Scorpio will be called. By the way, that's something that we all don't talk about very much. I know, Crap, you're fixated on Xbox One X, which I will not say that you're crazy. I think that there's a possibility. I highly doubt it. Xbox One X is like, first of all, okay, there's like 5 words in the English language that have X in it, let alone wanting to put a title with, how many X's are we going to put in there? That'll be 3. It doesn't seem to mesh for me, even though the initials work out.
Look, for me, I don't have a problem with them calling it the Xbox One Elite, even though there was an Elite. Those are discontinued. Those are gone. Like, who cares? It's not going to confuse anybody because there are no more Elites new. You can't go in the store and go, give me an Xbox One Elite. Just fucking call it an Xbox One Elite. Or like, I don't have a problem with calling it Xbox One X, or just because the acronym would just be Xbox and they could just say that up front. This is the Xbox. Here it is, right? Like, I'm fine with either way. Like, what's in the name? Because this thing's going to be a beast. Like, it doesn't matter. I think there's some kind of poem, Rose would smell as sweet or whatever. Like, who gives a shit what it's called? It's called better. This box is better than the PlayStation. That's what it should be called, because that's what it is. And and that's what I'm most excited about, is the fact that while I can still enjoy, like, I'm able to enjoy my Xbox One despite it coming in last in an NPD, despite the hate, I still enjoy that. The PlayStation fans, or at least some of them, not all of them, because there's some decent people that just like PlayStation, and I'm fine with that. Decent people that like PC and just stay in their lane, I'm fine with that. But when it comes to kind of the insecurity and the hate on that, I'll never understand that. Like, they don't, especially like the PlayStation guys, some of these guys, they just think that just because they won't have the most powerful thing, that it invalidates the fun. You can't have fun anymore, right? Like, fun's over. You know what I mean? Like, are you serious? Come on, man. I can have fun on the Nintendo Switch, and that thing's the least powerful thing. You know what I mean? There's like phones probably that have more power. So, people are weird when it comes to this stuff. They take it a little bit too seriously. For me, I just think that it's a great time to be, hey, we didn't even give out the number, and we already have a call.
That's right. Well, I did put it in the description. Anyone wants to know? MC space mornings.
Yes, MC mornings.
Somebody said you should name it Xbox One Groot, which I thought was very funny. I am Groot.
Hello, Mooch and Crap. I'm Topse from Germany, and in a recent interview with Xbox On, Phil Spencer said he was at Mojang and he saw that a new unannounced game. What could it be? It's Minecraft 2, I guess, but yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay. Hey, I love getting calls from all over the world. Isn't that great?
It just shows you how small the world is now with the internet. It's fantastic.
It is. It's like, and we were talking a little bit before we even went on the show. I said we feel a little bit like rock stars, but not like arena level rock stars. We're like county fair level rock stars.
Garage band.
Yes. Sure. And so it is kind of cool that we have fans across the world. That is so weird to me still. Like, I always think, I don't know, like, I don't, not the page, but when people message me and they're like, I'm such a hardcore fan, and I'm just like, I'm your biggest fan and things like that. And I just think, sometimes it just takes me by surprise, I guess.
It's very cool. We have, listen, the community on all levels, Nintendo, Sony, Xbox predominantly. Just great people out there that keep supporting everybody, not just MNC Mornings, but the entire community and all the podcasts. So thank you for that call from Germany. I appreciate it.
Yes. As for the game, I don't know if they're going to do Minecraft 2 because Minecraft is something that you just continually add on to. Like they're adding mods. Did you see the Nintendo stuff? Like I might pick that up on Switch just because it's kind of cool and there's not a lot of games on it right now.
I was actually talking to you and we were talking about it, crap, and we said, oh, that's out on Switch, and the kids were always like, oh, can we get it on Switch? I'm like, where else can we put Minecraft right now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they've got it everywhere.
Yeah, and it's got the Mario stuff. Like that's going to be a huge seller there.
Absolutely.
Like that, like people are going to buy that, and it's like because that is that retro Mario, look, and I like that. It's $30. It's more expensive there than anywhere else.
Well, of course it is. I mean, you're getting that, you're getting that promotional fee with the Mario stuff. I mean, but to get back to the question, Mojang, I don't know. Look, sometimes you ever know your favorite actor or actress and they've been in comedies for 10 years and all of a sudden they're like, I'm leaving comedy and I'm doing drama. And then they leave, they go do that movie and you're like, man, you should have stuck with comedy. And Mojang has got something working right now so well with Minecraft. They can make Minecraft in 4K. Was that picture that Tim Dog sent us that one time, was that a real shot of what Scorpio Minecraft might look like? I mean, it was still pixelated on purpose, but it was beautiful.
Here's the thing: it was 4K mods and stuff because you can do that on PC. So that's why he.
But imagine if that's actually something that becomes what Minecraft is.
Yeah,
I mean, shit, that is gorgeous.
It is. It's absolutely amazing.
Not sure what Mojang's working on. I feel bad we didn't really answer the question because I'm not sure.
Probably a new IP or something new, but who knows? MNC Mornings. Hello.
Do you guys think they're still going to include the Xbox Elite controller in the new console?
I'll tell you the truth. I don't think so. Because here's the deal. What we keep talking about one thing over and over again. If Microsoft's going to put the price high, they're going to put the price high because of what's actually in the box. And I don't mean the actual cardboard box. I mean what's in the Xbox Scorpio. And what they're trying to do is keep that price down. So we still I haven't even seen the Elite controller for $99 on a flash sale, right? Crap. I mean, so there's no way this thing can get in the box unless Microsoft is really feeling generous.
You know what? I see it at $99 on sale. Sometimes like Fat Kid Deals will post that out or whatever. You know what? Fat Kid Deals actually posted out. That was a pretty good deal.
What's that?
The open box returns of the Xbox One Elite, which has an Xbox One and like an OG one with like a hybrid hard drive in there. And then it also has the Elite controller. So basically you get the Xbox for $50 when you take into consideration the Elite's like $150 by itself. But that's a great deal. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't foresee them using the Elite. What I heard was they're going to be using sort of like that newer one, sort of like the one that come with the S, but has a little bit more of the grip stuff on it.
Yeah. If you're into sneakers, like some people are, in this case in gaming, you're into controllers, go follow Stein at Xbox because his entire Twitter page is just it's a combination of him doing selfies and controllers. So if you need any controller information, go visit Stein. He's got you covered there. But I think you're right, Crap. I think the latest rendition they put out will be the one that's in the box with the mat on the back, that grip.
Yep.
And the most updated, trigger and
because I really like the Elite, but I also have to say that I really like the one that came with the S, the white S. I have one of those too. And it's like, then those are really nice.
So let me say this, Crap. We've been playing a lot of Gears, multiplayer, a lot of Gears recently.
Don't use trigger locks on that. You will fuck yourself over.
Well, see, so I haven't been using my Elite. I've been using the controller that came with the Xbox One S Gears. Console, and I mean, I will say this much: I think the Elite gives you a better trigger time with the trigger pull.
Well, like I was using the trigger locks, right, and it was like I felt like it was handicapping me. Like I hate to bring back the second map of that horrible loss where I didn't get a kill, but I had the trigger locks on that map, and I couldn't get a kill. It just felt off to me. I don't know. So then I turned them off for the third map. MNC Mornings, what's up?
You're live in Mooch and Crap.
Oh, really live?
Hey, Mooch and Crap, how are things going?
Good, Shoulder.
My question would be, or actually, it's not a question. It's so much a statement of sorts. My statement would be that I am. Let me see if I can get in the camera.
There he is.
I don't see it working. I'm gonna be probably a day one buyer of Scorpio because of the fact that it's gonna let me play everything, and it's gonna allow me to basically play everything. And I can't see why that would be an issue for anybody who is like me that skipped out on the Xbox One and skipped out on the PlayStation 4 because of the simple fact that we weren't into gaming at that point. But beyond that, I would say that you guys are doing a great job with M&C Mornings, and I would say to anybody who hasn't yet gone into the current gen of gaming, if you are like me and you skipped out on the PS4, Xbox One, the Scorpio is the obvious choice, and that's all.
Great call.
Very cool. Cool call. And I like the live cam's cool. You know, like, here's the thing. You know, I think it's interesting. He said he skipped out not for any other reason, but he wasn't into gaming at that time. So, you know, people kind of jump into this head first at different ages. You know, you hear me, Jay, and Crap, we're talking about it from like when we were the age of like 4 and 5 up, we were playing. And then you hear some folks that are like, you know, I just actually started getting into it and I was like 24 or I was 28, you know? Yeah. So, I think that's really cool that he's going into it at this age. And I think Scorpio is a great time, right? Because you're getting the best of the best with honors. And then you're also going to be able to play Xbox One games, your 360 games. So you can walk into GameStop and buy, you know, current relevant AAA games, first party, third party, enjoy all the games that came out the past 3 years. And then you can go over to the used section and pull there's over 300, 400 games on back compat, right, Crap?
Yeah, there's a ton. And actually this week or this upcoming week, they're doing the sale on all the backwards compatible games, like almost 300. Also, good point to remind me, Alan Wake will no longer be available to buy to play on 360 digitally or Xbox One digitally after today. So you guys need to go buy that. It is a great game. Even if you don't think you'll play it. Like, remember we were talking about that last week because we had Luca on, and she said that she'd never played it. Newest, you know, he follows us on Twitter. He's like, he sent me a code to give her. So shout out to that guy as well, or Newsis.
Well, tell everybody why, though, Crap. A lot of people wouldn't understand. They may think because Remedy jumped ship. It's got nothing to do with Remedy and Microsoft. It's
music license. It's music licenses, right? In that game, they have different music. I know they have the one in particular that I can think of is they have a Roy Orbison song called In Dreams, which really makes sense, what plays at the end of the first. So it has to do with musical licenses, and so that's why they're pulling it. I mean, you could probably still buy it used and play it. Like, that'll be fine. But, you buy it, pick it up. It's cheap. Get it. It's a great game. It's one of the best, like, mood setters for if you want one of these kind of thrillers, like, it really puts you in an eerie kind of place. It's a great game. And the DLC is free right now, all the DLC. So pick it up. You know, no matter what you pick it up on, even if you're a PC guy, I think it's $3. If you're an Xbox.
It's a really great game. And I was very skeptical when I first played it because I didn't think I'd like this type of eerie type of shooter game. But I was really taken in by the story. And the gameplay, and it was really, really good. Yeah, I recommend that.
It's on my list, like a lot of people listening. It's on my list of must backlog games to play. Right now, I'm kind of nibbling away at Prey. Gears multiplayer just consistently takes me away from any list I've developed to make it to beat games. But then I wanted to also grab, after Prey, I was going to get into Mass Effect Andromeda crap, and then I want to try to get into Alan Wake.
Someone just tweeted, there was like, I was just live with Mooch and Crap Gamer on MC Mornings. Love you, Mooch. You my bro. They're like a Mooch maniac. He called me Crap Liver.
I love the Mooch maniacs, man. You guys are great.
They are. Like, come on, man.
I apologize for the size of the window there, guys, but you know, our Skype calls are mainly meant for avatars. So if you're gonna call in with your video, I'm gonna have to like make a special setup for that kind of thing.
We don't really get that many people going on cam, so I don't think it's gonna be a problem.
Exactly. So. I wasn't prepared. So
but that is kind of cool that we were able to do that, because I remember one week some people were like, they don't take live calls, and I'm like, we do. We take live calls. The reason that we just don't have hangers on where they ask questions and we answer and then they respond. They come in, say who they are, ask their question. Hey, you guys rock, and then get off the phone so we can, you know, answer it. That flows so much smoother when we do it that way. So that's why we kind of went back to that way. And then we also do the voicemails as well. So yeah, great call, man. Always good to have like the fans and stuff.
Speaking of that crap, you know what we can do? We can go to Who's on Deck, and meanwhile, anybody else can just click over. Buy Alan Wake while we're on the show.
Yes.
Buy that. Support that game.
Support it. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
I like that.
Okay, so we've got William Ramos on deck.
All right.
Let's hear William.
Hey, this question is for, actually it's not even a question. I just wanted to make a comment. I heard earlier about the single player question. I mean, the Phil Spencer talk about his single player. I want to make sure, I want to get everyone to understand that things have changed so dramatically from years ago. Before single player, but now things are much different because now you have games that have services in it. So some people will out there say that, you know, Zero Dawn probably sold more copies than Halo 5. Okay, that's fine. But to me, that's still like maybe a one-time ride, $60. Halo has these packages inside the game that people are buying gold packs all the time. Same thing with a few other games like Elder Scrolls Online. They also have a pack in it. Neverwinter, Warframe. So these games have what they call LTS, which is long-term support. Diablo Assault is another one that has the long-term support. They're still getting updated. That game came out when it was on the 360. So people need to think that these little needs to get that old school mentality out of their mind because it's the services are changing everything. People just still looking at the old-fashioned hardware copies, you know, and that's the same thing. If you can at least get 1 million copies of games put out there, and you have these shops in there, people are buying the stuff that's in shop, they're going to be making money regardless. Okay, look which one was the biggest one? The people who made the avatars on the 360. Mm-hmm. Those things were making killer money left and right, and Rare games weren't all that great. But look what they did. Everybody was buying an avatar, was buying jerseys for it, little cartoon figures. Every time there's something that comes out like a prop for an avatar, people were all over it. They were eating that up. So obviously, that's the way things are going. I think that's the way it's going, and that's pretty much what I have to say. Mooch, you owe me a game of Gears. Take care, guys.
Apparently, you owe this guy a game of Gears, Mooch.
I do.
Everybody's a Mooch maniac, man. Come on, where are those crapaholics, man? Here's a call out to all you guys, man. If you're a crapaholic, man, call in one day. Call in now. Jesus, come on.
Crap, just for everybody's sake, some point during the show, please retweet. This is what my crapaholics look like. Please put that gift back out there from yesterday. I actually played it. You know, I felt like Ron Burgundy. I actually played it again last night and laughed to myself. It's hysterical.
This dude just tweets out, Mooch, you don't have to carry crap. He's crap liver. Mooch Mania is the star of the show. Be the billionaire you are, Mooch.
Well, you know what's great? So listen, I was on the Doug podcast, which was a great time. The guys from Down Under, Stick Figure, Mega, and Max had a really good time. And he said, hey, make sure you bring all the Mooch Maniacs. And literally all of them were retweeting out the Stick Figure, showing just like droves of people running towards Australia. It was great. No, the Mooch Maniacs they're great, man. They come out in droves.
What was William's comment or question? Was he asking something? Because he kind of rambled.
I caught the end part with the avatar thing, but I was going to ask you what he was kind of alluding to in the beginning. I couldn't hear him. But I mean, the thing with the avatar thing that made a lot of money for them, and you did hear that, right? Crap, I'm not making up the avatar part. Okay. Yeah. I mean, listen, they had something back in the 360 era that was called Full House Poker. And there's a lot of people that always ask for these crazy games in the 360 era. And I'm always like, dude, like, let's move on. But what Full House Poker did was it utilized what it is you created in your avatar. This is something you've taken your time. It's either you dressed him up in a character skin that you like to play, or you dressed him up as yourself, looking as most realistic as possible. I'm hearing that the avatar thing on Scorpio, when the new UI comes out, or I'm saying new UI, but whatever Mike and Barr and his team have planned for the next update.
It's definitely going to be something new. Come on.
It's going to be something new, and the avatars are a big part of it, crap. So if we can do that, because what was great about Full House Poker was you took the avatar you've created, the one we all see on Xbox Live, and you sat at the table as your avatar. So it was really great to be able to enjoy that experience, and it made a lot of money.
Yeah, the 360 avatars were great. You used to be able to have backgrounds that they could interact on. I still have one set up on mine, and that was really cool. I kind of missed it. That wasn't in the Xbox One. You know, I mean, like, hopefully that what we saw was cool, because it's like the holographic ones, and isn't that the one with like the wheelchairs and stuff that they were working on too? Like, it seems like they're working on a total overhaul of this stuff, you know, and so I'm really looking forward to that. MNC Mornings, what's up?
Hey, Mooch Crap. What is up? My name is Dirk Griggity, and I'm a crapaholic. Diggity. But of course, I love Mooch also. Anyway, hey, man, I got a couple points. I know you guys don't like long voicemails, so I'm sorry, long calls. So I'm going to say this. Why is State of Decay, Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves, Cuphead, why are those games chopped liver, right? Sony guys saying they have no games coming. They have nothing. These games have been announced, so they're saying these games are just crap. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Are these games is garbage because they're not single-player, story-driven games? What is it? I'm saying, what is it? It's just crazy. These games get no respect at all. We know State of Decay 2 is going to be a good game, man. They've been doing this game for a while. It's going to be a AAA. I mean, I just think these guys are getting these games no respect. Crackdown 3 is going to change the game. So we'll see in a month. We will see. But anyway, also, do you guys think that Sony should strongly reconsider having multiplayer games? Because obviously, you know, like we've been talking about this for the last week about all of these Overwatch making 1 billion like Halo War. Halo is doing great with the money it's making. I was listening to a Pony podcast last night just to see these guys, what they're going to talk about. And their thing said, look, these single-player games are great if they're 40 to 50 hours. Dummy. Once you beat it, there's nothing else. It doesn't matter how long it takes to beat the game. There's no money coming in after the game is over with. Idiots. So do you guys think Sony is going to reconsider that? So anyway, because they need the money. I know they're seeing Microsoft and Overwatch and everybody making all this money on their multiplayer games. I'm starting to think they're really going to go ahead and try to have some multiplayer on their games. Well, anyway, that's all I got, fellas. Peace and love.
Yeah, that was a great call.
Yeah,
awesome call.
Appreciate that. Yeah, and also thanks. He supported us on our Patreon, which is amazing. Definitely always appreciate it if you guys want to do that as well, because that helps us keep the show going and things like that. We have that link down below in the description. You know, the reason why those games are chopped liver is because they're Xbox games, right? That's the only thing that I can fathom would make them quote unquote chop liver. I don't see. He's right. How can Crackdown 3, Sea of Thieves, Forza 7, State of Decay 2, Cuphead? How can these games be bad, but games like Gravity Rush 2, Gran Turismo Sport, Kawasaki Dragon 18? How can these games be great? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's like I guess it just depends on tastes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
well,
as an Xbox guy, I'm looking forward to the Xbox ones much more than the other ones. So.
I think you nailed that first part of his question, Crop. So I'll leave that be. Those games that you mentioned, especially the one I'm looking forward to the most, and let me rephrase that. Looking forward to the reveal the most, because I know we kind of have an idea what Crackdown 3 is I would like to see a little bit more about what's going on with State of Decay 2. But the other part of his question is Microsoft and Phil and the Xbox division, they know that their services make them a lot of money, which is why they boost the Xbox Live numbers, and that's why they're really going to be pushing Game Pass moving forward. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And we got, these phone lines are blowing up today, folks. Blowing up.
Mother's Day's got people in a tizzy.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, Mooch and Crap. It's me, a crapaholic, about to jump off a bridge because Sony has dynamic 4K. It's not like Xbox has games. It's not like they have services. Oh well, crapaholics. Let's go shoot ourselves. All right, later.
That's great. Crap. That is great. You have such a great fan base. But They do take a few downers before the show. That was a great call. Thanks for that, buddy. That was awesome.
Thank you very much.
That made my day. So, anyways, I'll keep talking on the Game Pass thing. Well, everyone enjoys that call.
Hey, hold on, just real quick, because this ties into Game Pass a little bit.
Sure.
The studio that was doing Hitman, right? That
yes,
studio or whatever it was, right?
They're up for grabs, right?
Yes, they're up for grabs. Not only that, but the newest rumor is the Hitman IP is up for grabs with them.
That's a great IP. It to me, it just needs a reboot. Just start over again. Get a little bit more espionage-ish.
You know what I have to say? The newest ones, they came out. That's a big AAA game. Those coming out and incremations like that sucks because I have it. It's great. But it came out and then one would come out like a month later or a month and a half later, and then you how do you when you get back into the game, it's like you're kind of messed up. You're like, what?
Yeah, you're like, where was I?
Yeah, like it's weird. Like you can't do that with those type of games. It works okay with games like Telltale because they're all the same. You push a button, QTE or whatever.
It also tells a new segment of the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a little different than when you're actually involved with the mechanics. Like Hitman has mechanics you have to memorize, get muscle memory. And after a month and a half of, a month is when it came out crap. But if you're in the middle of something else, you might take volume 2 of that game and put it off another month.
Yeah.
So you're really far behind on getting back to Hitman. I don't think that's the way to go with something like that. But I do think that was what Phil was talking about when following the Netflix, model. Because you take a AAA game and you can gauge the interest of people because you put instead of having 4 parts though, just have 2 parts. Part 1, part 2.
You could do that with some instances, I think for sure.
Right.
I don't think a lot of games like the Halo and stuff like that wouldn't work that way for sure. But
I agree.
I could see some, but that would be a studio that Microsoft could buy, and then you have a damn it, excuse me.
Howard Stern, folks of podcast.
I can't edit this live, buddy.
We're men, I know, right? Like, sorry, like I'm drinking a soda, like trying to keep awake because man, I was waking up early, and not only that, but the other night I was up till fucking after 2 a.m. playing Gears 4 with people.
Yeah, when we streamed on Friday night, that went late. That did go late.
It went way later than when we were streaming.
Well, the thing is, and I'll plug the Doug podcast again. Let's just be honest, crap. You played till 2. I played till about 1:30 in the morning. Fell asleep around 2:30 in the morning. Got up and did the Doug podcast at 8:30 in the morning. And by the way, we shout out to the Doug guys again. And we broke a record, crap. Stick told me that we got the most views in 24 hours and the most likes. So give those guys a shout. Take a look at their podcast and catch the Mooch and Scratch edition that was on this past week. It was a hell of a show.
Also, in case you guys didn't know, Crossfire podcast is back. We didn't really advertise it that much, but it's up on Mooch's channel. It's doing pretty well. We had a really good show. If you guys want to go check that out, we'll be doing that every Friday night as well.
It's got a really cool satanic thumbnail too.
I was like, I got it. Crossfire, those are crosshairs, and Mooch is like,
I got it. I said, Jen, that looks a little. I go, can you change the lettering a little? I was like, I want this to be family friendly, And he's like, that goddamn diva. So I only like the green M&Ms. So I apologize.
But that's great. Hey, I want you guys to hit that like button. We'll do top 10 around 250 likes. So we're about 100 off. So we've got over 350 watching. That's a tremendous on a Mother's Day.
Oh my God! Yeah.
And happy Mother's Day to all you moms out there, like Mel, She-Wolf. Trying to think of how many. Well, that could be it as far as that's our women.
Yeah,
right
I was going to say that with
wife.
the intro.
Yes, your wife as well, Mooch.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
I'll relay the message.
Yes.
But I was gonna say happy Mother's Day to everybody, all 6 women listening, if we have to. So we're hoping to build that female demographic up. That'd be nice. So ladies that do listen to the show, please let other ladies know. We'd appreciate that.
Yes.
But to be honest with you, crap, I do the Game Pass thing is huge. But I myself personally, and I always say we have to whenever you're like, well, I'm buying that game. I mean, I have to take your tally away. You buy all games. So you buy everything. Game Pass, I don't think is for you unless something comes out exclusively that you want to play on it, right? Like you do like a Netflix model. So I don't know, I think Game Pass is more for the casual gamer. Like you imagine opening up a Scorpio at Christmas, having EA Access and Game Pass. you've got 150 games the minute you open the box, and they're all great games.
Yeah,
There's
not
a
only
lot of
that, but think
AAAs.
about this, okay? You get, let's say they come out with a Scorpio with EA Access, Game Pass, and Xbox Live. You get games with Xbox Live Gold as well. So you don't even need to buy any games right off the start. And let's say that they have like a Halo 5 in there, maybe a Forza in there. There's a ton of stuff. There's even backwards compatible games in there. Like, you are good. There's really good games in there. And then, of course, the EA stuff, you're good with. You're going to have like the first Battlefront, the first Titanfall. I'm sure the second Titanfall will be in there any day now.
Any day now, folks.
Yeah. See you in the vault. There's just so many games that are going to be in there and that you'll be able to play. And with the Game Pass and EA Access and games with gold, that's fucking phenomenal. If they come out with a Scorpio or even an S with some like a year of each of this stuff, like, holy crap, that's like an amazing value.
I agree. I can't help but agree. I think that it's gonna bring something to the table that's new. And I don't know. Like I say, it's up to the consumer. I think EA Access is a huge success. If it wasn't, EA wouldn't still be doing it and wouldn't still be throwing the games in as rapidly as they have been. So it's a huge success. I don't know. I do think that I'm going to give it a shot. Crap. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do what you say. Support the team.
Yeah.
For $10.
Well, I mean, I think if you're in I'm able to access it now, I think, for free, because I'm in I'm in the preview or whatever. I think you get a certain amount for free or whatever. So, but the thing is, all the games on there I have, like every single one of them.
Right.
Like, as you know, like this generation in particular, like last gen, I really ramped it up, getting games the second half of the gen. This gen, ever since we've heard about like the Scorpio and stuff, I've really ramped up getting my games because we're taking them with us. So,
Crap, do you want to introduce this the jingle to folks? Because I have, by the way, just in case everybody knows, we have a piece we're about to show you. Myself personally, I can't speak for Crap. I have not heard this yet, but so as the audience listens to it, I will also be listening to it for the first time.
Yeah, we have a new jingle we want to share with you guys. I haven't heard it, so we have no idea what this is.
Oh man.
Yeah. So do you see J Dub's message there?
I will put him in
mode. Yeah. So yeah, well, hopefully you guys enjoy the jingle. I hope it's good.
Gaff and Sony, go together like neutrals and ponies. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Gaff and Sony, says Microsoft is full of liars and phonies. Ask your local games clerk and they'll say Sony's for the players. Try to separate them, it's a collusion. Try and you will only come to this conclusion. Gaff and Sony, go together like neutrals and ponies. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one, you can't have none, you can't have one without the other.
Oh God. We have a talented group of people in the audience. I'll tell you that, man. Crap might have to leave the show on account of laughter.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
That was great.
Wonderful job. Great job, man. That, my friend, was work. And well done. Holy shit, that was great.
Oh man,
God. That's wonderful. We may have to play that one again later at the end of the show.
I probably should have heard that one beforehand, Jay, because then I would have been able to keep my laughter under control, dude. Like
that's no fun.
Hey, Jay likes to keep us also in like out of the loop a little bit, so we get to enjoy the show ourselves. But Crap's laugh is contagious, everybody. So
that was amazing, and yeah, that was like Jay told us. He goes, yeah, we've got something, but I don't want you guys to hear it till we do it. And Mooch is like,
I'm like, can we listen to it? He's like, no. I'm like, all right, good talk.
That was brilliant.
So, Jay, why don't we go into a voicemail? We'll crap enjoy that a little longer. I'll mute myself. He said, no, don't crap. They love it.
Okay, we've got, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, Timotheus? Timotheus. Anyway, he's on deck. Here we go.
This is Tim, returning a call. I got a little rant. Maybe there'll be a question, and I will try not to take too much of your time. I just read a GameSpot or Stop or a fuck article about them building a PC equivalent to Scorpio. And they, once again, bought a whole bunch of shelf parts. None of it was optimized. Close to the same numbers, though, to Scorpio. And they come to the conclusion that it won't run most games in 4K. Be a lot of compromise. But you get where the article's going, and I'm sure you read it by the time you get this email. And it's amazing that Digital Foundry ran and saw. He said he saw it running. Forza Apex. It took 2 days to port it now. 2 days with no optimization. Running at 4K 60, ultra setting, they cranked that shit up, and it still had overhead. I know, demanding or not, that was one game with no optimization running at 4K. And they think they can just, go to Walmart or Best Buy or whatever and throw some shit in a fucking box with no, they Ledbetter said they've never done this before. They took they took the hardware and based it around the software. This has never been done, ever. So I just wanted to get your thought on that article if you read about it, and I'm excited for Scorpio. I just know it's going to run my games better than Xbox One, wherever the fuck it runs it at. I know it's going to look better than that shit, and that shit looks good. Rise looks good on my Xbox One, so I can't imagine what that shit's going to look like on Scorpio. I'm just saying. So that's my personal opinion, but keep up the good work. Bye.
All right.
That's great.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I did see the article. Unfortunately, GameSpot, they seem to do that kind of thing with Microsoft a lot. So basically what they did, if you didn't know, Mooch, they built a 6 teraflop PC to see if it could run stuff. But the problem is if you go back and watch what Digital Foundry said about the Scorpio, they built this thing around the software. So building a 6 teraflop PC isn't going to be able to accurately get over what Microsoft has done here as being the technical wizards they are with like the software. So they built they built the hardware around the software, right?
Right.
So they're really taking advantage of stuff in a way that's never been done before per Digital Foundry as well. So you and me or somebody off the street just building a 6 teraflop PC and going, oh, well, guess what? This thing can't run 4K 60, Well, of course not. That's not really what Microsoft did here. Microsoft did something that's never been done before.
Right.
So, and the reason why they did it that way is to save people money. And you know what? I'm going to see what's so funny is there's so many games that are going to be 4K on that. And people said it couldn't be done. Like you're going to see stuff like Star Wars Battlefront 2, Destiny 2, Red Dead 2, Call of Duty, World War II. All these games are going to be native 4K. Crackdown 3, Forza 7.
But if they're all going to be 4K crap day one, and this is right when the box comes out, when you have someone like GameSpot saying that it's not going to be able to happen, I mean, do you see the bias, everybody? Do you see the problem here? I mean, this is also, this is the same company that couldn't find the settings.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're mad. These people get mad because Microsoft didn't pick them for the reveal, but you can't blame them. Like, look, they can't find settings. Are you going to trust them to accurately describe Scorpio? So to me, it was just another one of those things that's going to dig at Microsoft because we already know that what's in a closed box setting of a console is much different than a PC because PCs running a lot of different stuff in the background and things like that. And you can just ask Dealer, Hellhammer, GKB. Anybody that knows anything about PCs will tell you that.
Right.
With this, they built this thing up to do this, to do stuff at 4K. So that's what it's there for. And so I think that people lose that in the mix because they're trying to compare it to a PC. What it is going to be better in a lot of ways.
Well, because they can squeeze the potential and the power out of the box crap. I mean, anybody, listen, a lot of people I work with are PC gamers and strictly PC gamers. Yeah. And they say, You know, especially up until the end of the 360 era, they did a hell of a job squeezing every little bit of power out of that machine. Yeah. And we've already got people saying in the industry, not analysts, in the industry, developers are saying, wait till you see how they squeeze this Scorpio, even 2018, 2019.
Not only that, but to the guy who, like, I'm going to ban him just for being a Steeler fan. But anyway, who's like, oh, well, we don't know what settings. In their own developer documents, Microsoft tells developers start off at high to alter settings and go from there, see how much overhead you had, and then you can add in extra effects or whatever. But it's going to be using 4K textures and things like that on everything. Right. So I think that that's going to be huge. And again, just the only thing we have so far to look at is that Forza screenshot, which in and of itself looks absolutely amazing. And if you want to look at the opposite end of the spectrum, look at that Gran Turismo sports stuff running on PS4 Pro that looks absolutely horrendous. Horrendous. It's terrible. That's because that's a resolution box, folks. It's not increasing your textures and things like that because it doesn't have the memory bandwidth to do that. They didn't think that far ahead.
The thing about it is everybody keeps giving credit to Sony for what they did in 2013. What you don't understand is Sony was trying to take advantage of everybody with the 4K thing, you know, or saying the resolution. That's the thing. Microsoft actually outsmarted Sony halfway through the generation, and nobody's given them any credit for that yet, except for maybe a smidgen from, what was it, their Digital Foundry. But except for their smidgen, their one-liner, we're still waiting. As even Ryan McCaffrey said, I'm waiting until I see the games. Ryan, you don't have to wait till you see the games. You can pick up the phone and actually talk to Phil, and you can go get wowed. The system is what it is.
Exactly. MNC Mornings, what's up? Put on a shirt.
Hey, Mooch and Crap. This is Wei Wee from Xbox Live. I got a question. With the mouse and keyboard support coming to Xbox, what's the odds of them bringing back classic games like Age of Empires? And just imagine if they got like on StarCraft on the Xbox Scorpio. That would really kill it. Thank you.
Yeah, you know what? Listen, somebody messaged me, a couple people, and like, crap, are you pissed off about the keyboard and mouse support? I'm like, look, they're gonna do things right. I don't think that they're gonna. I don't think that they're really going to screw anybody over. You're gonna have options to play, like even on Gears, right? They're like, okay, well, there's the option to play with PC guys, and that option is there. I don't do that. You know, in fact, when we do, we kind of treat them like they got the plague or something. Be gone. You know what I mean? Like they don't. That's just how it is.
You got a PC logo. It's not that we're just trying to say you got to play, fair playing ground. And I think that's the thing. I think Mike Ibarra was on a show quite some time ago. He plays on PC. He's well aware of what the console gamers want versus what the PC players want. So you'll have a choice whether to play with people with controller or keyboard and mouse. That's a non-issue at this point.
Yeah, and so. I just think it's a little bit weird that people like, I'm not concerned about it. What it's going to do is like, it's going to be an option for people that want to play some of this stuff because I do feel that it's a two-way street. Like there are some PC stuff that's coming over to the Xbox, like City Skylines, like Xbox is getting these types of things, like Age of Empires could come back. I believe Microsoft owns that IP. So, I think that it would be, behoove them to allow that. I don't think a lot of people are going to run out and get it. It's such a small subsect, like fighting fans, like who actually has like a fight stick. I don't know that many, or like wheels. There might be a small percentage, but it's not going to be the majority.
No, it's really not. There's a reason that everybody goes out, whatever numbers you want to believe, the nearly 80 million consoles that are out there this generation. You have to understand something. Like, they went out there and spent that money because they choose to be able to put a disc in or just digitally download and play the game on their already working box that's taken care of by Sony or Microsoft, right?
Yeah. Good point, Fuzzy. He says Player Unknown Battlegrounds. Yeah, that's another PC game coming to Xbox One / Scorpio. So there is going to be that. We're going to see more of that. And that could be a reason why some of the PC dudes are upset as well, because games that they thought were their exclusives aren't so exclusive, and I think that that's part of the point. As long as they do it right, I'm okay with it, but expect me that I would be upset if they don't do it right. Like if they're just like, here's Halo 6 and you're going to be forced to play with PC people. Right. That wouldn't work out so well. I'm just saying it wouldn't. So
I agree. Why don't We should probably take a voicemail. And actually, the next voicemail is someone we've been gaming with recently, Crap. So it's been a lot of fun actually getting to know the individual that's been calling in for over 6 to 8 months.
Okay, you guys ready?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Hey, what's up, Mooch and Crap? I was just wondering, when do you think we'll see the next Gears of War game? Do you think we'll see something this E3, or do you think we'll see the Gears 5 at next E3? Okay. Bye.
So, you know what's funny? I'm not even gonna give it away, but yeah, it's that's really funny. We actually game with him. He's a pretty cool guy. So no, I don't think we're gonna get a Gears or a Halo reveal this E3. I just think that we're gonna get something different. And again, Microsoft is damned if they do, damned if they don't. If they show Gears or Halo, they're just relying on Gears and Halo. If they don't, they don't even have Gears and Halo. What the hell? They're screwed. You know what I mean? It's like,
listen, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. That's the way Microsoft always has to attack everything. So in this case, I don't blame Phil. He's coming out with, he's got new hardware, Crap, right? They're probably going to be doing something in the VR space we don't know, which I'm not excited about, but that doesn't matter. It's still new to them, new to the audience. So you've got a lot of hardware coming out possibly right there. They're going to show 3-4 IPs that are coming out this year and maybe 1 or 2 new IPs. This is the year where they already have when you have hardware, you're already like your hype level's already at 110%. So next year when you come out after Scorpio's already been out for almost 6 months, then you promote your Halos, your Gears. You know what I mean? That's when you get your hardcore fans back invested. I mean, this is a very cyclical thing that seems very easy to follow, guys. It's a sine curve. And you know, there's nothing different than from any other E3. You're going to see more games. They're going to hit hardware and then games. You're not going to newer games. And then you'll start to see the Halos creep in there and you'll see the Gears creep in there. I think that's just systematic. It's I don't know, Crap. That's just my take on it. I don't think you always have to show Halo or Gears.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so either. I think that they're gonna do a good job showing other things.
Right.
And I think that it's gonna surprise some people. But again, they're in a no-win situation because we know that if you show hardware, they consider you a loser. Everybody's like, Sony didn't even show any hardware last year. We know the reason why they didn't was because they cut their presentation 15 minutes short. That 15 minutes was for Pro and the Slim. Right. They cut it short because what are you going to go out there and pimp your console when you know Scorpio just was announced 8 hours earlier and it shits all over your stuff? Like they're just not going to do it. So they didn't do it. Microsoft is going to have to talk about Scorpio. That's just how it is. Like people are like, well, they already showed it, to Digital Foundry and they did the work. But you know how many people saw that? You know, like even if 500,000 people watch that still leaves you a huge audience. You know, so you have to do it, and millions of people watch E3. So they're going to talk about Scorpio. They're going to talk about this augmented reality or mixed reality. Apparently, they have a MMO, some kind of new MMO that's going to be like a augmented reality MMO on Xbox and PC.
Now, can you explain to the audience, Crap? Because you said that I have no problem. What's the difference between virtual reality, HoloLens, and mixed reality?
Mixed reality, I think, is like mixed reality. I think is stuff like where you wear stuff and then you can see stuff pop up like that maybe isn't on the screen or whatever. So I think that's what that is. It's different than virtual reality. But if you saw, like Microsoft did announce that they have like VR headsets with controllers and stuff coming out.
Right.
You know, so I think that's pretty cheap.
But I don't think it's not going to be Microsoft made, right? It's going to be third party. And
that stuff is. But I would expect Microsoft to have some kind of first party thing. I mean,
you think so? I thought they were going to kind of stay out of that. Third party take over.
Supposedly their deal with Oculus fell through. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that, but mixed reality is like VR and AR combined. According to
you know what I think they need to do? I think they need to lock down the Friday the 13th license and make an AR game where Jason's chasing you through your own house.
Oh, great!
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah,
that would. Yeah, that's just what people want, right? Like,
you'd have schizophrenia going wild. I don't know. That's wild. I think that I just think this whole mixed reality VR. I mean, you can see VR kind of flopped. Nobody cares. Nobody we even know has one. Like, it's just like if anyone's picking it up, they're picking it up on a flash sale just to see what it's all about, and they got money to blow. That's fine. Don't get me wrong. We all do that in every category in life. But at the same time, it's just, I don't know. I don't see VR or mixed reality really being a thing. I don't
know if those things are supposed to be like take over for like the main stuff. I think those are supposed to be like their own kind of thing. You know, like a little subsect or whatever of people that want to try something a little bit different now.
Yeah. I don't know if the only thing is I don't know if the gamer community as a whole is divvy it up that way. I just don't see them. We all seem to, the one thing we all agree on is we like having a controller. We like not having a contraption on our head for the most part.
Yeah.
And whenever you talk to anybody who's a fan of VR, all they ever say is, "Have you tried it? Don't knock it until you try it." My question back for that person is, have you played it since you tried it? And most say no.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, that's because most people do like to play just stuff like standardly, and I completely understand that. I think that people are always worried, like trying to look at the next best thing or whatever. Like the people that we know that have VR or PlayStation VR or whatever, they don't even use it that much. You know, they use it a little bit here or there. Like somebody pointed out, D-Batch has it, but he doesn't use it much. I know Doc Cupcake had it. Remember, he used it that first week. You know, other than that, I don't know a whole bunch of people that actually have this stuff. So it's kind of interesting to me, just with this whole, like, will it work? Well, it seems like if Microsoft gets on board, that would be a bigger push than Sony, because Microsoft is obviously the PC space as well.
Right.
So I think if they're offering stuff that's you can play on both and there's no real restrictions or anything like that, and they have those new controllers too. Like those seem like much better options to me than the Move controllers.
Right.
They're not like lights or anything like that. So, you know, I'm interested to see it. I'm not saying it's going to be the greatest thing, but I have tried it before and I think it's okay. You know, yeah. So I guess it's open for debate. So
it is.
Who do we got on deck?
We have a lot of voicemails left.
Yeah, we've got Mr. Zombie Killer.
Zombie Killer.
Hello, Mooch and Crap. It's Mr. Zombie Killer, and I'm from Chicago, and I haven't sent a voicemail since December before MNC went off, so I'm kind of glad to finally make a voicemail. And listen to Crossfire first episode back. It was awesome. Same with Wednesday night, Xbox Nation, and everything's been tremendous. And I got my question today is for the Xbox Game Pass coming this spring, maybe E3. I don't know if it's going to drop at E3. But how about the Hitman that was just dropped from Square Enix? What if Microsoft picked that up as the first episodical game for Xbox Game Pass? What do you think? And what other games do you think might arise? Thank you, and enjoy Sunday morning.
All right, Mr. Zombie Killer. Yeah, we kind of already talked about that a little bit. I had mentioned that it looks like that is a possibility. Like I saw like Ryan McCaffrey from IGN tweeted Phil, like that would be a good pickup because they're a single player developer and the Hitman games are pretty good. That'd be a good IP to possibly reboot. And then there you go. You have yourself a built-in single player IP. I think that would be fantastic. I would love to see Microsoft do something like that. And hey, hit that like button. We're closing in on 200. When we get around to maybe 225 or so, maybe we'll do that top 10 that we got. It's a pretty good one. What do you think, guys? Mooch? Oh, yeah. Okay, Mooch. My bad. Excuse me. I just saw the thing. Yeah. Mooch had to go take a dump.
Yeah, right. I'm here. So I'm sitting here waiting for an answer. Like, I didn't leave yet. I'm like, do I leave? Do I not leave? So guys, just so everyone knows in the audience, like we have a chat open, and I'm like, hey, can we get this? Guys, can you cover me? I'm going to go ahead and just run out for a second. No response. I get complete crickets on the side. I'm like, at least Jay will read it because Jay's always on the side. So I'm like, hey, guys, can you cover me for a second? And Graphic God writes, so-and-so's on deck. And I'm like, that's not the question.
Yeah. Not only that, but he said piss break. And I was like, you got to take a dump.
No, I got to go. You know, these shows go so long, and I'm not going to lie to you. I got a coffee pot right here. I don't stop with the coffee, folks.
I don't either, man.
Coffee
I go through a
just keeps
2-liter.
rolling. So anyways, no bathroom break. ensued. Let's go to since we already kind of handled zombie killers. You want to go on to mass murder on that?
Yeah, let's go ahead on the next.
Okay, here's mass murder.
What's up, Mooch? What's up, Crap? What's up, Graphic God? It's Mass Murder here again. I was just calling to ask a question. With Windows 10's phone coming out, do you think with the Windows 32 app, you'll be able to play Xbox One games on your phone in the next year or two? All right, that's it. You guys have a good day. Peace.
Xbox phone games. That's a possibility because I think you can already play some of those. So I would assume that, since they're using like the whole ecosystem, like everything is connected. And I just think that that's something that they are going to do. And if you look at the Xbox games right now on Xbox One, some are phone games. I mean, they're not the, I guess the exclusives, but the stuff that's on Windows Phone or whatever, some of that stuff has been ported. I think there's like a one of those wave race type games that's been ported. There's like a few phone games that have already been ported over. So I would assume that we would see that in the future, and it makes a lot of sense. I think that we'll definitely see that in the future, and I think that Mooch would agree if he were here.
I am here.
Oh, okay. Thought you were taking a piss.
Oh, I told you I'm not leaving. No break for the weary.
Dude, I'm
still here.
Well, dude, here I am. I'm like, did he
He's
go take
clenching
a piss?
his crotch
We
as
are
we
no
speak.
longer taking breaks on M&C mornings. No one will be covered. Okay.
Hey, somebody get us to that 225 mark so we can do the top 10 so he could go take a piss.
Top 10 is
please.
so we can actually. I mean, even Howard Stern's like, "Hey, we're going to take a break right now, guys. We're going to go take a break."
Yeah, well, you know what we need to.
We have
Go ahead.
commercial breaks we could be playing if people have to pee.
Yeah, I mean,
we do
we don't
commercial
have,
breaks. That's right.
Yeah, we don't have like long commercial breaks.
They're not. Yeah, they're not really long. That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, you know what? We should roll one though. Maybe show some merch. People might want to pick up some merch.
Oh yeah, hit that up and give you let Mooch actually refill his coffee.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, put me in presentation.
Hey everyone, Crap Gamer from M&C Mornings here, and maybe you're a bit of a geek or a nerd and people push you around a bit, huh? Well, if you roll up into the cut wearing an M&C Morning shirt, suddenly you're a Billy Badass, and you might even get someone to kick it out wide for you too. Well, we've got all your M&C Mornings merch right here in one spot for you. Or maybe you want a 4K makes you a better gamer shirt, or perhaps even in the highly coveted Crap Gamer Was Right shirt. I know that's a personal favorite of mine. We've got it all. iPhone cases, Android phone cases, classic M&C Morning logos on mugs, travel mugs, and more. Support your favorite morning show by buying some of our kick-ass merchandise. You know you want to. Links for it all in the description below. Thanks for supporting M&C Mornings. Hell yeah. And Def Jam Bam actually bought a couple of those 4K Make You a Better Gamer t-shirt. Like, shout out to the people that realize that that's just a really funny joke. Because the Xbox or because Sony was the ones that said 1080p make you a better gamer. So I kind of like took that and made a little joke out of it. But yeah, I just thought that was a little bit funny. So if you guys do want to buy some of the merch, always feel free. We don't really make much off of that stuff anyway, but it's cool to have people go out there and kind of support the show and things like that. So definitely appreciate that.
We should probably I'd like to make more commercials like that crap because I think
we were supposed to, but me and you like during the week we're like, hey, let's meet up and do like a meeting and do this, and then that shit.
Yeah, that all went through. Exactly. So let's go to our next. I want to hear what we got. Hobo Scratch on deck apparently.
Hobo Scratch.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yo, Mooch and Crap, what's up? This is Hobo Scratch calling. Just had a couple of questions for you guys. First, let me just say, love the show as usual. Glad to see Mooch is back. Sunday morning was a little empty without you guys, but hey, that's all good. But hey, I just got a couple of questions I wanted to ask you guys. What do you think is going to happen? Not saying that it will happen, but what happens if the Scorpio doesn't perform like Xbox wants it to, or like how we think it's going to perform? What if it fails? What do you think is going to happen to the Xbox or Microsoft, well, the Xbox brand at that point? Because they're kind of throwing everything into this console, so I just kind of feel like if it doesn't succeed, that's going to damage the Xbox brand even more than it was before. That was the first question. And question number 2, I just want to know, did you guys know, as far as the backwards compatibility for Scorpio for the 360, is it going to be like it was with the original Xbox One? Is it just going to be like on a game-by-game basis? They're going to release them every couple of weeks or so? Or is it just going to be flat-out backwards compatible? That's all I had. Thank you. I'll let you guys later. Peace.
Okay, good question. Like, I can definitely clear that one up for you. It is, the Xbox Scorpio is an Xbox One, so it'll play all of them. There's no, like, will it? It just plays Xbox One games. You pop them in, and it plays. With the Xbox 360 one, there's rumors that maybe it could do original Xbox backwards compatibility, and maybe it'll do hardware emulate or hardware via the ability to play the 360 games via hardware, which means you wouldn't have to do the same things that you have to do to get the Xbox One S. But that might be too confusing. So all the games that are the 360 games that are backwards compatible on the One will be as well on the Scorpio, and all of the games on the Xbox One are playable on Scorpio. Same thing with the controllers and all that good stuff. Right. It's all backwards compatible with the One. And as for your other question, we don't know what they have in terms of plans or ideas for success of Scorpio. They say, hey, it's it's not for the main gamer or whoever. You know what I mean? It's not for the casual or whatever. So I don't know what it is. As long as they're making money on their services like Xbox Live, that seems to be all they really care about. Like, I don't think they couldn't care less really about so much the sales. I mean, I'm sure they would love to win some NPDs,
right?
But it seems to me like they're doing a pretty damn good job with making money. And flat out that their CEO came out and said they make the most money on their service than Sony. They flat out said it. Hey, we make more money off Xbox Live than any other network. And I think that speaks volumes considering they have supposedly so much less market share than some of these things. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on both.
It's funny we say that though, Crap. The thing about it is this: the casual gamer. I have to reiterate what we talked about early on today's show. It's really important how Microsoft comes out of the gate with the whole Scorpio native or better than dynamic or however they're going to word it. Because again, if you're just a person, a consumer walking into a GameStop, a Walmart, a Target, a Best Buy, and you have $400 whatever it is in your pocket, okay, whatever the Scorpio costs, you walk in and you see that this is the gaming console that trumps the others. That's the one most people will buy. I think somebody was saying it the other day on a show. We're saying, I like to buy the best thing on the market. I prefer to buy what's the best item on the market right now. People are going to turn around and say, well, the Scorpio is the strongest. I mean, a lot of faith goes into who's working the floor at these stores, right?
Yeah.
So that's the thing. When someone walks in and goes, well, I see you have a real true native 4K machine and you have a dynamic 4K. Which one's better? And then, I can already hear people at GameStop being like, well, the Xbox Scorpio is true 4K, but, the PS4 one is pretty much the same thing and they got more games. You know what I mean? I can already hear that happening.
Yeah.
Because that's what, like, whenever I'm over at GameStop, the employees are always saying that to people online. Like, you can hear them. They're like, well, PlayStation has better games. And I'm like, well, that's really your opinion and not true at all. But whatever. I said, that's okay. That's the sales pitch. See, when you go to like Walmart or Target or Best Buy and you're like, hey, which one's better? I think you get a better sales force, because here's the thing. They're more like, well, the Xbox is more powerful than the PS4. Oh, okay. And then most of them don't play games over there. You know what I mean? Because they're working the floor. They're also selling washing machines. Okay. They also have a Halloween section at Walmart going on at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on they're not just dedicated to that. And when you go to GameStop, I feel you totally absorb the bias. So I generally, do I go to GameStop? Yes. When I need to, I go to GameStop. But most times I'll buy games at Target, Walmart, or Best Buy. Just because it doesn't matter. You can still return the game used to GameStop if you want. And Walmart has a trade-in policy, and so does Best Buy, I believe.
Yeah. So I agree. And they're going to have to deal with putting up with some of that, like the ignorant people or whatever that just don't really know, that as far as, what's coming up. So I don't know, like, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it really comes. There's a lot of different elements that come into play here when Scorpio. It's really heavily. We You know that it's a 4K machine. Okay, great. Microsoft, now you need to tell everybody that. Don't tell us. We know. Tell everybody else that. And number two, depends on what kind of negotiations and deals they make with Walmart, Target, and Best Buy. I mean, GameStop is just, that's a Sony, that's just a Sony store. You walk in there, it's just got Sony written all over it. It's just the way it is. It's been like that for many, many, many years. That's not going to change. But when you go to Walmart, you do notice a little bit more of an emphasis on the Xbox.
Yeah,
Xbox is up front. It's more, pronounced, and then PlayStation's further back down the aisle. Still a large display, just a little further down. So I don't know the workings going on there, but Microsoft really needs to whoever's doing their marketing is really on the hook for this Scorpio. That's what I'll be watching.
Yeah, I think that it also depends on who's selling these things. Like if there's hardcore fanboys out there that sell stuff. So,
right.
It might be unfortunate that we see a little bit of that going on where they push their agenda. Like I've seen that personally at GameStops and stuff. So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens in the future with that as far as if they're going to continue to push their agendas and stuff like that. So hopefully not. So who do we got on deck, J-Dubs?
We've got Tony, the former pony.
Hey Mooch, hey crap, it's Tony, the former pony. How you going? Last week, Yoshida took out the code for the 3 months EA access, and I just want to say, Yoshida, hopefully you'll shut the fuck up now, because you've been banging on about those codes for a good 12 months now, and I was actually a little bit relieved when you got the code. Now I won't have to put up with you whining, and then. But I sort of quickly brought Yoshida back down to earth late that week, the following week. I took him out, finally, in Mortal Kombat. That's right, in the Mortal Kombat tournament, Tony the former pony took Yoshida to the cleaner. And it was over. So 6-3, I think, was the score. I took him out. He was confident too. He tried all these sort of tactics. He was, and actually got a little bit of help from Cortana. Halfway through the match, Cortana popped up on his screen. I went to town on that motherfucker. So anyway, guys, catch the video. It's on Supersonic Station's channel. Have a look at it. It's pretty funny. And have a great week, guys. See you. Bye.
Tony the former pony, so good. So good.
Yeah,
always
that's
good to
awesome.
Hear from him.
Absolutely.
We're changing one customer over at a time, crap. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. He used his sister's PSN account as well. So something like Princess 448 or some shit like that. So that's that was a good Mortal Kombat tournament that they were running. I think that was a pretty damn good tournament.
Well,
and
that gave an idea, crap, that this whole arena thing that's coming down the pipe is going to be something huge. Really big. I like that, and I would like it even better if the whole arena, like the if you will, the March Madness schedule thing that they have is up on Xbox Live, so everyone can actually tune in. People would actually tune in more than just the Twitter thing that Supersonic was doing. That was really cool. Yeah. So, shout out to Danny Boy and all them. That was great work.
Danny Boy.
Yeah, it was awesome work. That's what I always call them. So.
Yeah, dude, I agree 100%. So, who do we got on deck? J-Dubs.
We've got Robbie Pablo.
Robbie Pablo.
Yo, what up, Mooch? What up, crap, man? This your boy, Robbie Pablo out of San Antonio, man. And Polygon released an article talking about the Xbox Scorpio dev kit and how it had that LCD screen on the front. And I just recently watched the video of Next Gen and what's the guy named Dealer, and I forgot the other guy name. Anywho, one of the topics they had was, do you think that little LCD monitor screen should come on the actual Scorpio? And Dealer was like, no, man, it shouldn't come. It's gonna add, more price to the Scorpio, and people gonna complain and bitch when the game drop like 2 frames per second and all that other good crap. Well, anyway, man, I have 2 good reasons why it should come with that goddamn screen, man. Reason number one, man, GameStop. Imagine this scenario, okay? We in the GameStop, man. You have Call of Duty in the PlayStation Pro, and you also have it in the Xbox Scorpio, right? I don't care what nobody say. GameStop is gonna compromise the Scorpio to look relatively close to the PS4 Pro. You know what I mean? And I think it would be a good idea to display what frames per second is going on and what resolution is in, just so they won't try to fool the public. You know what I mean? They won't fool us as in the know, but when you hand the public something right there in their face, man, you can't fool them. You know what I mean? And the second reason, man, is Digital Foundry, okay? At the beginning of the console war with this resolution crap, us Xbox guys swore to God, like, yo, Digital Foundry is against Xbox. Now, the Scorpio's here. PS4 fans are like, yo, Microsoft is paying off Digital Foundry. You know what I mean? So, I feel like you should put the screen on it to eliminate that. And Dylan was talking about people gonna complain about it missing 2 frames and this and that. So what? Digital Foundry fit to go through it with a fine-tooth goddamn comb anyway. So why not put it on display? You know what I mean? And if Microsoft is really talking about they got this true power, why not display your console constantly running at 60 frames per second and at 4K or whatever? You know what I mean? Because regardless if we can't see it or not, Digital Foundry is going to point it to the light any goddamn way. That way, you can eliminate GameStop trying to sabotage you, and on top of that, we don't have to wait on goddamn Digital Foundry to give us frames per second and all that. We can eliminate their ass too. We see it for ourselves, man. You know what I mean? And that's all I got to say about that, man. And before I leave, P.S. Larry Herb, I'm still watching you, goddammit. You better not give Francis a free goddamn Scorpio, man. I mean what I say. I'm out. Later, fellas.
Yo, first of all, shout out to Robbie. Robbie, great message. But I do want to talk to what you're talking about. Listen, first of all, I think it's a great option, the LCD screen. I think it's great. Shout out to Jez Gordon, who also sent out another small short video.
I did see that with the Dolphins. That was pretty cool.
That was very cool. And don't get me wrong. If it does other things, like maybe tell you a little bit about the game or what's going on, or maybe the graphic comes up underneath it in color, that's really neat if they want to throw that in there. Let me tell you why the 4K 60 frame chart shouldn't show up on there. You're right. Is Digital Foundry going to do it? Yes. Does everybody watch Digital Foundries? Absolutely not. Number 2, you do have to realize, okay, and what's that game that just came out recently, crap? Ghost Warrior 3, Sniper Ghost Warrior 3?
Yes,
there
Warrior 3, yeah.
There are developers, and people are going to think it's crazy, but it's true. There are developers, and there are people that don't like Microsoft. And if you don't think that they'll put a game out that won't run, they did it already. There's people who said it. They're like, the Xbox One version doesn't run as good as the PS4 version. You don't think they're going to do that next generation or games they're going to, I'm going to use the word sabotage, but they will do things like that. And then we'll patch it later.
Yeah. Some of the smaller ones might do that, but I think that the larger ones are going to want to showcase their titles.
Not the larger ones.
Yeah, but the
Ghost
smaller ones,
Sniper Elite, like whatever that game is, nobody like that game's not doing very well.
Yeah.
So and like they don't care. So they did what they did, and my point is what Dealer was saying on that show, okay, to kind of back Dealer up a bit here, was he was saying it's a major distraction, and it is. Like when you come home to play the game, do you need to know that you drop down to 59 frames for a split second? No, that's not something you need to know. Like your TV might even have a blown bulb in the back of it. You want a little like red dot that flashes that says bulb blown, and you can't do nothing about it?
Yeah.
No. So you don't need to have all these things going wrong, going wrong, going right, and telling you. That's just not why we're, I mean, what are we? We're gonna go from we are gamers to we are technicians. Like, I don't know what we're like that. It doesn't really do anybody any justice. And like I say, there are going to be games out there that people are not going to put their whole heart into. Remember, we went through this, folks. Remember #LazyDevs?
Yeah,
we're out there. You know,
no parity. Yeah, also some of the smaller ones might go, oh, well, there's a larger install base of the PS4, so we catered more towards that and then ported it over or whatever. So you could see that with some smaller stuff, but I've already heard that a lot of the big like AAA devs are already well on board with Scorpio and things like that. So we are 12 likes away from the top 10 countdown, folks. I think it's pretty hilarious. The top 10. So you definitely want to hit that like button.
Pretty good.
We went in there and knocked it out like professionals, and then Jay's like, "You forgot to end it."
Yeah. So
like,
Jay did a little patchwork like usual. No, but a great question, honestly, Robbie. And I understand that you're saying what you said in your comments on that LCD screen are only in a perfect world, and unfortunately, we're not in one, because right now, the minute you have the opportunity to sabotage or do something to that, just somebody will. So I can almost guarantee we're not going to get an LCD screen on the bottom. That was something to make things easier for the people that are the developers working on new games coming out in the dev kit.
This is not going to be the new VMU for the Xbox. It's not going to be a second screen that you can observe little maps or whatever on. It's too small for any of that.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is the cost would go up immensely if that would happen. So you definitely don't want that to happen at all. Let's go ahead and run one more voicemail, and then we can do the top 10.
Sure.
Okay, we've got Luca
on the second floor. Yes.
Hey Mooch, Crap, J-Dubs, Luca here. My question for you guys today is, after what happened with Andromeda and Hitman, do you think single-player games are in trouble? Now, I was thinking that there's a chance that we'll start seeing more single-player games that have multiplayer elements, even if the main campaign doesn't necessarily warrant that. I think perhaps their publishers will make them, or the developers will choose to put it in themselves, just in case. Really interested in hearing your opinion, guys. I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you're having a nice morning. Bye!
Luke is great.
Yeah, you know what? I think that we probably are going to see less single-player, just only games. Most games will have multiplayer. Even Mass Effect Andromeda has a multiplayer aspect. And I just think that game is being hurt a lot by trolls and things like that. People that probably never even played it. I think Dealer made that point as well, that a lot of people just see the GIFs and run with that. And we're like, oh, well, if it looks like that, I'm not going to play it. When the actual fact of the matter is, I didn't run into hardly any of those. Like you see the chicken walk GIF or the bad punch GIF. I didn't see any of that stuff. For me personally, I look at that as people kind of taking a dump on some of the games that I like, and that's unfortunate, so we might not see another Mass Effect game for a while, and that really bums me out. People, they did that to Quantum Break. They shit all over it for having
it's funny though, Crump. That's been the narrative this past week when we saw that those studios were taking a hiatus or shutting down for a bit. I don't know if we can sit there and say that was the main cause. I mean, ultimately, I just go back to the whole nostalgia thing. A lot of times we sit here and we keep making something so, like, let me tell you this much. If you think Ken Levine, okay, who was the creator of BioShock, he did BioShock 1 and Infinite. If you think that 2K is going to be able to put together a new version, okay, you're probably going, well, hold on, Mooch. BioShock 2 wasn't his and it was okay. It was, but it was basically just 1.5. It really wasn't even BioShock 2. It was a full game, but it was the same thing over and over again. What I'm saying is Ken came back and made Infinite. And Infinite took it out of Rapture, went up into the clouds of Columbia, and made this crazy, crazy world up there. Let's say now they go somewhere else completely, not Rapture, not Columbia. You think if Ken's not involved, that BioShock's probably going to be piss poor. I mean, my point being here is this Mass Effect wasn't by the creators of the original, right, Crap? It just wasn't. Yeah. And that's why you got this subpar, and that's why you saw the kind of backlash come. And then there was the ridiculousness with the face iterations and blah, blah, blah. And that, of course, none of that actually helps. But I think a lot of these things fall. And then Hitman doing it episodic, that was just ridiculous. Everybody knew that was stupid. There was only, of course, the people in the media, the minute anyone on Twitter with a logical brain in their head said, this isn't going to work, the media's like, don't be so negative. Don't be so this. Everything's going to work, bruh. You know, and I'm like, that's not how it is, you know? It's unfortunate, but that's just not how it always works.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we kind of saw that. You know, the writing's on the wall. You guys use your better judgment when you're thinking about something like that. And you can't just rely on the morals of a good name for it to work out. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't work that way. So that was my whole thing with it, crap. I know where you guys are coming from. And yes, you can blame the media's negativity towards Mass Effect for some of the sales. But realistically, people just saw the game. They're like, this is not like Shepard's Adventure. This is not what I'm used to. And people stepped off.
They should have just done more Shepard, like, in my opinion, maybe pick it up from there. Like, that's my opinion. I remember Dealer bringing that up too about like the Gears thing. Like, for me, they did have Marcus in there, you know, like he was a pretty big part of Gears 4, but like you wanted to move on a bit. They took a chance. They took more of a chance with that than Uncharted with Naughty Dog, in my opinion. So, you know, they didn't get commended for that. They got shit on for it, you know? So I think that's a little bit unfortunate, but we should get ready to roll that top 10, which is pretty impressive. So I want to set the top 10 up real quick. We were playing some Gears. We did a M&C Mornings versus Next Gen 720's Broadband Bullies. And it didn't end up so well for us.
No, it didn't.
So we were like, hey, let's turn that into a top 10.
I don't know if you guys ever saw the movie Space Jam, but that's what it kind of felt like. We showed up and it was like Z was like, let's do a 5-on-5. We showed up and we played against the NBA All-Stars.
Yeah, it was
some serious recruiting.
Yeah, it wasn't too slick. So let's go ahead and you ready to roll that, J-Dubs?
It's all ready.
All right, let's rock and roll. Hey everyone, welcome to the M&C Mornings Top 10 list. Today's Top 10 is the top 10 excuses you use when you lose at Gears of War 4 multiplayer. Kick it off for us, Mooch.
No problem at all. Number 10. I didn't know we started the match. When did we start the match?
I don't know, but it happens, and it sucks when it happens like
every
that.
round.
Yes. Number 9. What the fuck? My team sucks. This literally happens to me all the time. It's not me, it's my team, obviously.
It's just how you got placed on your team. It's not your fault.
Exactly.
Number 8. Oh, the 3 lines, a.k.a. the start button, doesn't pause the game?
Yeah, you know, you can't pause a multiplayer game, so that is unfortunate.
What do you mean? I didn't know that.
Yeah, you know,
right?
Now you know.
Love the excuses.
Yes. Number 7. I was letting my friend play for me. Honest, I was. It was my friend. It wasn't even me.
Of course, you weren't there.
Yes.
Number 6. That's not fair. You're playing on PC. Who uses a mouse to play video games?
I don't know, but we kicked him out yesterday when we were playing against him. So
yeah, we did.
Number 5. What the hell? He's obviously hacking. Hacks. What's this all about? He's hacking. Look.
Number 4. But Zombie Tom looks like one of us.
He does. He looks exactly like us.
They made that character so great that like it works for espionage for both teams. It's fantastic.
It does. Number 3. What had happened was my controller broke or possibly ran out of batteries.
Number 2. When locked up in a chainsaw versus chainsaw 1-on-1, too much B button is required to win.
Those B buttons will get you every time, man.
Well, they switched from A button. Now it's too much B button.
Yeah, too much B button. And number 1, I couldn't concentrate over Def Jam Bam's soundbar. That thing is loud. Turn it down.
Concentrate.
It's way too hard to concentrate, man. Def Jam's got that thing cranking, and you got like the music going, and you're like, damn.
Well, there's the 13th player on the field for football. That's the 6th player on the field with his soundbar working against us.
He's like, hey, I got my soundbar. You can't even hear him because he can't hear us or whatever, but then you can hear his soundbar. And he's like, oh, I couldn't even hear you guys. What's up?
Great top 10.
Thank you guys for rocking out with us. We'll catch you next time. And if you have any suggestions for a top 10, let us know. We'll be happy to do that for you. Oh, you know what? That was a hell of a good job.
Nice patch job.
Yeah, that was a good patch job. That was like what I had in mind for that whole when I was trying to fool people with the fake Mooch. And when I had that idea, just like nostalgia is a hell of a drug, like that kind of thing. So good job, and that was a good top 10 because yeah, we were coming up with some excuses why.
Well, it was great because like those excuses were not even like made up. We had those already prepared because we've been playing Gears multiplayer for a few weekends now, like intensely, and everyone's always like, "Well, I'm just gonna step out and make a drink real quick," and then they come back like, "Oh, you guys started the match already?" Meanwhile, like 3 shotguns to the head later, that person's already gone.
Yeah.
So we've had so many different iterations of excuses why people have died or why their team lost. It's just been hysterical.
Yeah.
Right
So
back to the college years.
Exactly. And speaking of Def Jam, I think he's on deck, isn't he?
Yes, he's on deck.
Let's hear from
Def Jam.
Hey, what's up, Mooch and Crap? J-Dubs. How y'all doing today? Hey, I got 2 questions for y'all real quick. I'm thinking Scorpio should release around September. I mean, hell, that'd be an early birthday present for me. But I think Scorpio should come out before all the big hitters come out. Because, you know, everybody will want the best version of whatever game comes out anyway. And second question, being that certain single-player games don't have a multiplayer, do you think that should become standard, that single-player games should get automatic DLC added, you know, just to keep the game alive? Because we've seen what happened to Quantum Break. Quantum Break was hot for a little bit.
What the hell?
Everybody stopped talking about it. I think they should have like a story DLC added like every couple months or whatever the case may be. I'd like to hear y'all thoughts on it. Peace.
All I could hear was
Wait a
something in the
minute.
background going, rah, rah.
Jay, I don't know what I want to do yet, but I want to take that clip and exactly where that seagull was going off. And whenever me or Crap say something crazy, I want that seagull to just go off. That was so fantastic.
I think he was calling from the rainforest.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. He also sounded winded.
Yeah,
He sounded like he was taking a
breath, man.
jog and he was running. I listen. Bam is definitely in Jersey, so he must have been at some sort, maybe over Jersey near Jones Beach or something. I don't know what it is. He was somewhere, man. Bam, that was wild. What was one of Bam's questions?
I don't know.
That seagull lost me.
Yeah, like I was sitting there listening to it, like holy shit. Something about single player. Jay, can you replay that, please?
Jay, yeah, you know what? I also want to hear it again for 2 reasons. Bam's always great on the show, and I want to hear that seagull.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Hey, what's up, Mooch and Crap? J-Dubs. How y'all doing today? Hey, I got 2 questions for y'all real quick. I'm thinking Scorpio should release around September. I mean, hell, that'd be an early birthday present for me. But I think Scorpio should come out before all the big hitters come out. Because, you know, everybody will want the best version of whatever game comes out anyway. And second question, being that certain single-player games don't have a multiplayer, do you think that should become standard, that single-player games should get automatic DLC added, you know, just to keep the game alive? Because we've seen what happened to Quantum Break. Quantum Break was hot for a little bit. Then everybody stopped talking about it. I think they should have like a story DLC added like every couple months or whatever the case may be. I'd like to hear y'all thoughts on it. Peace.
Yo, I'm sitting here writing down what he's saying, and
I did too.
And I start laughing. I don't know.
I was like, Scorpio release September? ? I think September would be great. I'm hearing October to coincide. Although the Redstone 3 stuff is September, and I heard that Scorpio is supposedly supposed to release around that time. So it makes sense.
We've said this, and not just us. A lot of podcasts. We're kind of all like skipping around the pond here. Let's put it this way. I don't know what the Redmond tie-in has to, what is that what is it? The
Redstone 3.
Redstone 3. I don't know what that has to do to tie in, but here's my thing. We've said it once, we'll say it 1,000 times. Scorpio, in my personal opinion, has to come out before the big 4 games this fall. Because and it makes sense. Doesn't it make sense that the Xbox One S came out in August, that they would do it again? I know we said that that's far-fetched. And listen, I'm not saying lock it in or anything like that.
Lock it in. You heard it here.
There it is, folks. No, I think either the end of August or early September is a very, very smart. because then you have Destiny 2 and all of the games coming out this fall that will play better on the Scorpio, and Microsoft can advertise it that way, because you're going to lose a lot of the Destiny people go, well, buy it on the PS4 Pro because it's technically going to be better, and I don't know when Scorpio, it's going to be a month or 2 months later. So like the whole thing is like, I think if they hit the end of August the way the Xbox One S launched, it can only help Microsoft, but they have to be prepared for that, and we won't know until E3.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And I like
that's Siegel.
September or October would be best in my opinion. Don't wait till November. That's way too late.
Way too late.
And his other question was, should single player games get automatic DLC? I think that they should. I mean, like, would Quantum Break if that had gotten some kind of DLC, I think that would be beneficial to the game.
Quantum Break should have had a horde mode.
Yeah, like they could have done a horde mode easily, and I think that would have been great as well. It's unfortunate they kind of missed that, but I do think that it would be needed for sure. So I agree 100%. Oh, you know what? Before it's too late, I want to do some shout outs to some of the Patreon people.
Yes,
let's see. Let's shout out my boy Josha Z. Yeah. Let's see. Dustin L, Lethal Papa, Longshot, Mark D, Jackal, Justin B, Max S, G-Man 209, Delilah HD, of course, Robert B, John S, let's see, Ethan, Dirt Griggity. That's what's up, Diggity. He just actually got his in last night, so that's awesome.
Yes.
Richard N, Killin' Dan, Snoopy, ooh-wee. Silent Bob X, of course, the Doug crew, the Doug podcast, Down Under with Stick Figure and those guys. Great people. You were on their show.
Fantastic show.
Yes. Adrian A, new one, Lady Foxfire. Thank you very much. She just actually did that yesterday, which we're very grateful. Thank you very much. Keegan, Christopher M, Mark B, John B, Frodo86, thanks, bro. And the reason why I'm reading all these is because we missed last week as well, so I figured I'm just going to shout out everybody. Sean D, Ruben D, Alex B, who I believe is Space Cat, Elliot B, Ray Barada, always good to hear from you. Jason, Shadow, Dan M, the dude. What was the dude who you told me he didn't want us with the name? What was his name? Reaper or something like that?
Yeah, Death Reaper or something.
Yeah,
like
Death Reaper, something like that. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, Death Reaper. Daniel H, Manco, the PlayStation Bra, Siberia. Thank you guys all very much for everything you guys do and the support. I'm gonna go ahead and read some more too. Gus Bus, Chris H, Michael C, Valkyrie, Cool Fusion, Kareem H, Joshua R, Jermaine, Lewis, Michael L, and Kyle P. Thank you guys so much for
outstanding.
Yes,
you guys hear that list of names? That's how many people are supporting the show, and we hope that you enjoy.
You guys got to see the new wheel, how full it is.
Yeah, so you know what? We're gonna save.
That's right.
Let's save the Patreon one for last, which is everybody that donates at least $1 a month. Which, hell, man, if you're like, you spend more than that on gum, so for $1 a month, you can, like, you're entered to win a game or a year of Xbox, whatever you want, basically within that amount. And so I'll never say that we're unappreciative. We aren't padding our pockets with this stuff. It's helping us to put our show on iTunes. It's helping us to give away these games. It's helping us to do stuff like that. So let's roll for the Gears of War game.
So this is for the Gears of War 4 digital game.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Donated by Dell something South Soul or something like that. We gave him a shout out on the ticker this morning.
Okay. So here it goes. No whammies.
No whammies. Let's go.
Always great to see this.
Yes, I love the Wheel of Wonder. Man, you must have given an extra spin. Look at that thing.
There's so many names. It's weighted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Gears of War 4 goes to
Xbox Trigger.
Xbox Trigger.
Oh, wait, no.
No, it's Xbox Trigger.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
Xbox Trigger.
Xbox Trigger. It looked like
the thing is, here's the thing. I'm actually glad, no offense to Space Cat, but we know Space Cat has Gears of War 4. We played.
So, absolutely. So yeah, congratulations, Xbox Trigger. If you didn't have Gears 4, you got it now. Or so you got that, and then we're gonna spin it again for a 3-month card, courtesy of Jeremy Downer.
And so Jeremy, thank you to the Downer. Jeremy's a huge fan of the show, good friend of mine. Always good to talk to Jeremy. And this is 3 months of Xbox Live Gold, crap?
Yes, 3 months of Xbox Live Gold.
Thank you, Jeremy, for the donation.
Here we go.
Let's not go over $1, Jay. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we are.
Oh, I see bankrupt.
3 months goes to
Tony, the former pony.
The former pony, which is great.
Yes, nice. He could probably use that. That would be awesome. Nice.
That would be great. Yes,
Absolutely.
Tony, the former pony. Congratulations. 3 months donated by Jeremy the Downer, who's a big fan of the show. I wouldn't call him a Mooch maniac, but he's definitely.
Well, you know what? He donated it because he was one of the people that got kind of screwed over by Microsoft with the FanFest thing.
FanFest tickets.
And so they're like, here's 3 months, and he's like, man, you guys can just give this away. And I'm like, all right, that's awesome. I appreciate it. And now the moment you guys are waiting for, the Patreon one, and now Jesus.
Nice.
Yes. So whoever wins this, let us know what you want, what game. I'm not sure exactly how we'll do it. If it's a game and I can get a digital code for that, I'll do that. If you would just like that amount in Xbox Live currency,
yes,
I can do that as well. Or if you want a year of Xbox Live, we can do that as well. So
I think it was a great idea, crap, that you decided that the winner gets to choose whatever they want. This is the best way to.
Yeah. So if you want the latest game, like if you want Injustice 2, and that's coming out this Tuesday, I believe. Then you'll get enough to get that on Tuesday. Or if you want a year of Xbox Live, it'll be a year of Xbox Live. If you want Horizon Zero Dawn, it doesn't even have to be a new game. It could be an older, whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. We'll do it. So that's what you get for supporting us, only for as little as $1, And if you want to support us and don't want the monthly charge or whatever, and you have codes or whatever, you can do that too, and we'll throw you in on the ticker and shout you out as well. So
absolutely,
you can support us in any number of ways, and we really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and roll and see who's going to win this, Jay.
Okay. Just want to apologize for Dirt Griggity for coming in too late to be on this month's wheel, but for sure
it was supposed to be spun last week. Yeah.
This is exactly. It was supposed to be spun last week. So
maybe how about we put him on twice next month?
We could put him on 2 spots, that's for sure. And the next wheel one won't be a month from now. It'll be probably in 2.5 weeks from now. So
right.
Yeah, it's not going to be that long of a wait. So we'll definitely do that.
Okay, here we go.
This one here has got me excited.
It does. Who's going to get it? Robert B.
Nice.
Yes.
So Robert, get a hold of crap. Let them know what you want, or any of us, or J-Dubs, and just
we have his info through Patreon, so we could email it to him.
Yes, I do. So I'm gonna, I'm looking that up right now to see if I can find his name.
Cool. Very
cool.
Huge
Congratulations
today on MNC Mornings. Basically a $60 value of whatever you'd like. Xbox Live Gold. You can get even PS Plus. Any game you want on any system.
Yes, absolutely. That is completely awesome. We really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for the support. You know what? Maybe people want to hear our new jingle before we go. Jay, is it possible to roll the jingle?
Can we just go into the outro?
You may as well keep me in presentation for the rest of the show.
Okay. I will. Well, you get your time in the spotlight as well, Jay.
Damn right.
The third,
my fancy new shirt.
Yes. The cigar. Enjoy.
Hey guys, everybody, thanks for coming out to MNC Mornings this morning. Hope you enjoyed the jingle one more time and the outro. We'll see you guys again next Sunday. And we also have the Patreon 1 hour special coming out this week.
Probably going to be tonight because
could be tonight.
BGST is going to be pushed till tomorrow. So, yeah.
All right, cool. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Happy Mother's Day.
Gaff and Sony, Gaff and Sony go together like neutrals and ponies. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one without the other. Gaff and Sony, Gaff and Sony says Microsoft is full of liars and phonies. Ask your local games clerk and they'll say Sony's for the players. Try to separate them, it's a collusion. Try and you will only come to this conclusion. Gaff and Sony, Gaff and Sony go together like neutrals and ponies. This I tell you, brother, you can't have one, you can't have none, you can't have one without the other.